this is a Polybrute 12. So this is a big brother of the Polybrute 6. So I will explain you first what is in common with the Polybrute 6. So it has the same voice architecture. So you have both VCO, one with an additional metalizer, which is wavefolding, and we have also artsync and softsync. The second one is have an additional sub-oscillator. You have a filter FM section, two filters, Steiner one and a ladder one that you can route in parallel or in series. You have three envelope generator, three LFO, big matrix modulation, so you can route nearly any parameters you want on this matrix. Digital effect section, sequencer and arpeggiator, and a lot of other features, but I will not explain all because we'll spend all the days to do that. Also, it has a morph knob. So, what is a morph? Each preset on a Polybrute have two states. So, you have state A and state B. So, it is the left of the knob and the right of the knob, the morph knob. So, the state is just basically a set of parameters, so some designs, and a set of modulation, assign that whatever you want. Then, the B state is another sound, or something quite similar to the first one if you want. And you can do totally another sound with another set of parameters and modulation and effects if you want. And then if you turn from A to B, it will morph the preset from A to B. But it's not a simple crossfade volume. Actually, what it does is really morphing the parameters, so it interpolates parameters from A to B for all the parameters. So, for example, if I take this preset, I play something simple, and I turn to B, and it became something else. And I go back from A. You know? So we also pay attention to have a very expressive instrument. So you have a ribbon controller that you can glide on it. You have different modes of glides. And you can also assign any parameter you want, so the modulation matrix, to this ribbon controller. You have a morph pedal, which is an XYZ pad. There you can assign whatever you want through the matrix modulation, and it also controls the morph if you want. So yeah, this is what is in common with the Polybrute 6. Now, what you have more, the Polybrute 12 is obviously you have 12 voices. So that's why it's bigger and it has these vents, because it generates more heat. But don't worry, there is no fan, it's passive cooling, so it generates no noise. So 12 voices. What is the benefits of this? So I make an init patch, so it's easier to hear what happens, and we will play presets after that. So if I have 12 voices, obviously, if I have long decaying notes, it will steal less often voices. So it's quite useful for that. And I have even more rollies. Or if you want to hold things, second things you can do with that is have a very massive unison, because of course you have 12 voices. So for example, I put these presets on unison, and I can go to the settings and set, for example, I want 12 voices of unison. So that's something quite massive, and I can go more extreme by detuning more each voices. So yeah. Now, what the other big features of the Polybrute 12 is this new keyboard we have developed ourselves. We call it the full touch technology, and I will show you what we can do with it. So it's an Aftertouch keyboard. with MPE, so you can send and receive MPE. You can record your performance in the DAW and resend it to it if you want and have the same performance. So Aftertouch, we have 3 sets of modes. First one is the classic mono mode. So I have to route something to the Aftertouch, obviously. So let's just route the filter because it's easier to hear it. Let's remove the envelope. Okay. So it's in mono mode, it's monophonic. So I can play one note. And of course, as it is monophonic, I have one single Aftertouch that opens the filter for all the voices. I can turn it in polyphonic mode, so it's like 𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙚 vibes. It's quite cool. And now we have the alternative Aftertouch mode, which is the one where we have developed the new one, the innovative one. So it makes the keyboard very more expressive. I will show you. So the full touch mode and the full touch keyboard, what is allowed is now you will see that if I slightly touch the key, it will trigger. So it's very sensitive. So now we are able to track the finger position from the very top of the key to the full bottom. Here I have to just check. Let me check. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So you know, I have the whole range of the key to work with, which is very useful to be very precise and have a lot of movements. So just with your fingers, you can create infinite modulation. And I can go very, on the top and have a very close sound. So I can play bass chord very close and subtle, and do very something cinematics like this. That is for the full touch 80 mode, and there are 2 remaining modes in full touch. So the second one is the full touch 80 plus Z. So let me put it. So now we are able to split the keyboard range in 2 areas. So you have the first area, which is what we call the full touch area. So it's from the top of the key to the start of the
resistance.
Yeah. Let me play that lower. So you have from the top of the key to the start of the classic Aftertouch area, which is the one we use usually in mono and polymod. And now we can work independently with the 2 zones. So for example, if I do something very simple, let's assign Z, which is the name full touch with Z. We will assign some pitch bend on the voices. Obviously, it's always polyphonic. So now I can put slightly my filter like this. And if I go deeper in the second zone, I can now pitch bend down my notes. So this is for this mod. Obviously, you can put any parameters you want for the modulation matrix for each of the zone. And now you have the third one mod, which we call the full touch envelopes. So because in the development of the product, when we start to design patch with this new technology, we'll always say, oh, I often put the filter and the VCA, so because it's natural to want to open the sound, with your fingers. So we said, okay, let's try to create something which is already mapped to these parameters and create something new with that. So now in this mod, I have removed the modulation that I've done before. And you can see it works instantly. So what technically it does is, so now my aftertouch signal is automatically routed to the VCA and to the VCF. And the envelope is not behaving as usual now. Let's consider that my envelope is now my fingers. So for example, I will demonstrate you. Let me say that to have something easy to hear. Okay, something like this, for example. If I put some attack on the VCF and VCA, if I play fastly, deeply, it will take time to raise. So I can slow my whole play and have something very smooth. The decay is the same thing, but on the other side. So it's a time for the aftertouch, so the VCF and the VCF, to raise down when I put my fingers back. So it takes time to raise back. It's not instantaneous. Let me put some raise. No, there is this little stop. The system failure on the VCF and the VCA allow me to clip the aftertouch signal. So what it does is the aftertouch, and so the VCF and VCA amount, will stay at a constant value. So for example, let's put 100%. When I go back, the value is still here. So I put a lot of relays. My filter is not closed. If you go under 50%, it will attenuate the aftertouch signal, because if you raise the velocity slider, what it will create a little plug, a little spike in the envelope when you play high velocity. So now you are able to play something very smooth with one hand. And if I want to get a plucky sound, BlackBerry keyboardist, as you can see and hear, I'm around syntheizer. And if I go slow, I still have my sync and do something like this. And I also can play a black and go back, and then I will make now a small attack. It's not fixed to the micro. And obviously, all is movement with my finger. If I just stay at one place and don't move, the sound is static. As soon as I move my finger, everything is now alive. The other feature in this mode, if I activate the harp, my envelopes are now acting as usual, like in other synthesizer. So let me put something nice. And now what it does, and when I play the harp, I can have some sound. Now what it does is, The first note of the arpeggiator is currently taking my velocity Z of tape, and all the other notes of the arpeggiator is now taking my aftertouch value as velocity. So what I can do with that, I will demonstrate you. I can now control all the envelope of the arp polyphonically, independently. Yeah, it's a real pleasure. And you can do things like this. You can use the other specific features, so it's starting to be becoming very alive and very expressive. So now you have understand the concept. Let's play some patch that is designed for this mod, like just my basic image patch. And yeah, we'll try to enjoy it. So I really like this patch, we'll see. So it's a full touch mode, so I have the full range of the keyboard to play with. So it's a classic full touch mode. So you can see here that the more I press, the more all the electron and envelopes are speeding up, and also the sound is happening. Last few hours with the same patch. Let's take one more in this mod. So I like this patch because it can demonstrate you the power of modulation with this keyboard, because just with one note, let's hear it. Just with one note, you can get all the things. Something briefly in the low. And of course, it's polyphonic. Let's try another one. Patch that I know well, for example. Yeah, let's try this one. So now I have the two ranges. So the touch ranges and the classic aftertouch, the full touch ranges and the classic aftertouch ranges. So it will compare the sound with my finger is in this patch, like it was designed. And if I press more, it alters the timbre of the sound. This one is a very powerful one. So you see the more I push the key, the raise bass phase which is generating with FM, raising. Let's say if I push further, I have distortion and reverberation. Very schematic. And Zimmer brass.
Yes, sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And lastly, the full touch envelope mode. The one? This one is red. Try to versatile. This one is cool too. So if I hit fast, like a song, it's Asian. And if I move my finger slow, I get this nice pad. This way it's strong. And a little arpeggiator for finish. Yeah, this one. And something I forgot to tell you. In this one, the full touch envelope, you also have the two ranges to work with, so you can hear the filters. The first range is the full touch range, and if I press further, it's the classic aftertouch. So start to add something else. Yeah. I think that's it.
So really beautiful.
Yeah, that is.
Nice.
It's you have the infinite possibility of sound design,
Yes.
all the parameters and the matrix modulation, and now you have the infinity effects possibility. So the best of the both worlds.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you so
problem.
much.